You're listening to PetLifeRadio.com.
You've had a long day at work, and you can't wait to just get home, take off your shoes, plop yourself down in your favorite chair, and relax. You walk up to your tranquil residential home and your neatly manicured lawn in your quiet suburban neighborhood, put the key in the lock, open the door, and... Yes, the pets have gone wild! What were you thinking? Welcome to the show about everything you always wanted to know about exotic pets. Where to get them, what to feed them, and how to care for them. You'll even find out why some people live with a monkey. Now, here's your host, exotic pet expert and author, Bob Tart. Hey, Bob, what were you thinking?
Hi, I'm Bob Tart, author of the books Enslaved by Ducks, Foul Weather, and my brand new book, Kitty Cornered, and I'm here with my wife, Linda.
Hello.
And we got a few things to talk about. It is March 11th, 2012. It's been a while since we've done a podcast, hasn't it?
I can't even remember when we did one.
No, it's been quite a while. We had a bunch of stuff going on. So we got a few topics for the show today. First thing I want to mention is that...
Brand new book.
That's it. My brand new book, Kitty Cornered, is finally coming out. The official release date is April 10th, 2012, so that's just about a month away, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's not available on Amazon earlier.
You've already got orders on there?
Yeah, people have been pre-ordering it, and I've been getting some really nice reviews. I got a nice review from Kirkus Reviews, which is a industry reviewing service. You'll see their reviews on Amazon, and also from Booklist.
Really nice ones.
Yep, and I just got a great one from Examiner.com from a reviewer in Dayton, Phyllis O'Balin, and my apologies if I'm not saying her name correctly.
Yeah, how do you pronounce it?
Yeah, I just want to read you the first two sentences of her review.
Very nice review, thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Phyllis. Kitty Cornered is the funniest book yet from Bob Tart, author of literary hits Enslaved by Ducks and Foul Weather. I started bookmarking the pages containing the funniest parts, and now my book appears to have some sort of carnival headdress. Is that how you say it, carnival?
I don't know.
The Brazilian carnival.
I can picture it.
Yeah, I can too. One piece of good news about Kitty Cornered is that there is an online book club called dearreader.com, and they have 350,000 members of their book clubs. They have a nonfiction book club, a fiction book club, and various other book clubs. And what you can do is you sign up, and then for a week, you get an excerpt every day from that new book.
Yeah.
And so they actually chose Kitty Cornered as a nonfiction book. And on May 21st, that's a Monday, on that week, they're going to run excerpts every day in their nonfiction book club for Kitty Cornered.
That is so great.
Yep. So
that is just wonderful.
That's dearreader.com. And then before that, just this month, on March 21st, dearreader.com is going to send out an email to all of their subscribers, and it's going to be a humorous essay that I wrote about trying to write in a house full of pets.
Critters.
Yeah, so look for that.
Very excited about it all.
Yeah. And I have a world book tour coming up. It's just exhausting, all the places I'm going to.
Yeah.
It's, for some reason, it's only in southern Michigan.
Yeah.
So that's my Kitty Cornered World Book Tour. So if you are in southern Michigan or anywhere near southern Michigan, go to my website, and I want to talk about that real quickly.
He redesigned his whole website.
I did, and it was a big fat pain because I had to learn new software to do it. Adobe doesn't make Go Live anymore, and my old software wouldn't run on my new Mac, so I had to learn Dreamweaver, which is one of the most obscure, opaque, and arcane programs.
Badly designed.
Yeah, it's not user-friendly at all. But somehow I muddled through, and so I have I'd say a greatly enlarged website now. It's bobtart.com. That's bobtart.com. You'll find information on all three of my books there.
Beautiful pictures of the cats and the animals.
Yes. And in addition to descriptions and reviews and photos having to do with all three books, the new thing I've done is now you can read the first chapter of each of my three books. So go to bobtart.com, click on Kitty Cornered, and then you'll see something to click on, and you can read the first chapter, of course, absolutely
That makes
free.
it convenient.
Yeah, and my producer, Mark Winter, is going to like this, and that is that on the author's blurb on the back cover of Kitty Cornered, where it tells a little bit about the author, it's going to mention our podcast here on PetLifeRadio.com.
Very good thing.
So that is a good thing. So there's that. Our next topic is the mice. You want to talk a little bit about what's been
We
going
probably
on?
talked about this before, that this seems to be the major center of micedom in the entire community. We have live mice traps that we catch them and take them up the street. We've done that for years, and I don't know why. There just seem to have been more for quite a long time.
This winter, actually.
This winter,
we
there was
had
a lot of
mouse
mice.
Population explosion. I'll tell you how bad it was. This morning, we're in our bird room, as you can hear, and we have covers on the bird cages, right?
Yes.
So this morning, I was taking a cover off. Which cage? It was our dove, Odie. I was just pulling the cover off his cage, and there was a mouse on it.
Was that today?
Yeah, just today, and a mouse fell onto the floor.
No.
And my response, if this had happened a year ago, I would have been jumping up and down, screaming because I'd be so surprised. My response today was, oh, good, only one. Because at...
I have to keep washing those sheets all the time.
Yeah, there was one
pain.
one point this winter, and again, I don't know what's going on, but it was so bad that I remember, there was a few days where pulling the covers off the cages, there were 3 mice in the covers. And they crawl up in there, get into the folds, and decide,
well, that's more comfortable than sleeping in the cupboards.
I'm going to make a little nest here. And again, we don't know why. We've never had we've had mice on and off, but we never had anything like this.
Why should they live outside when they can live in this nice, comfortable house?
Mm-hmm. So we would set how many traps?
2 or 3.
And some days...
they're live traps, and we take them up the
traps.
street, and far enough away, hopefully, that they don't come back, but it doesn't make any difference. We still have tons of them.
But how many would you say we were catching for a while?
I don't know, 1 or 2 a day.
Yeah.
Every day.
And there was at least...
Every day we put them out.
And there were a couple occasions when all 3 were filled.
Yeah,
All
I
3.
know it. Doesn't make any difference.
Nope. And
And there's 2 different kinds. There seems to be this one with a longer tail. Is that the one with the white stomach? And then there's this other one.
And then there's a
and
little...
they're all very fat and healthy looking.
Oh, they are.
Well, they don't have a little toothpick in their mouth from
Yes.
the wonderful meals they are. I don't know what they eat. They go in Howard's cage and get seeds sometimes.
Yeah, that's
right
our
out of
dog.
his dick.
Yeah, not good.
Some of the cages have close enough wires that they couldn't do that, but his cage, evidently, the wires are wide enough apart that they can just get right in there.
Yeah.
And that's a high cage. I don't know how they get up there.
And you know that there's a lot of mice when you go down the basement and you see a little tiny mouse door with a mouse doorman downstairs. And there's a whole long line of mice waiting to come in, and he's just one at a time opening the door.
Well, when we made the mistake of the last time the refrigerator was pulled out, or not the refrigerator, the stove, I saw this mouse hole, it's just like on the Tom and Jerry show, this little rounded mouse hole down by the baseboard, and I knew that needed to be sealed up, but I guess we were in a hurry or something and didn't get sealed up. So that's one of the major thoroughfares for the mice entering other parts of the house.
Yeah, but that was a couple of years ago, and I can't say...
You can hear them in the walls on the other side of the bedroom, and that's right behind that.
It sounds like there's a buffalo in the walls sometimes.
Yeah, I think these red squirrels get in there, too.
I don't know, but...
At any rate, Tina... What was this, 2 weeks ago, something like 2 or 3 weeks ago?
Our cat.
Tina,
one of our 4 cats.
Yeah, she likes to sneak in the kitchen, and this is the reason she does, is because she likes to sit over and stare at the stove in the hopes that a mouse will come out, and then she'll catch it. Well, she does somehow, she is able to do that. She hypnotizes them or something. And the other night we were watching TV, and she comes running in with this mouse, and I said, oh no, she's got a mouse, get it. And the unfortunate part about Tina is that she doesn't believe in killing them. She's like we are or something. She doesn't believe in killing them. She just likes to put them down, chase them a little bit, and then pick them back up, and then just play with them. What happens, though, is she drops them, and then they run off somewhere. So she brought this mouse in the living room. It ran into our bedroom, of all places. Couldn't get it, of course. And then I was very distraught about the whole thing. I thought that was the end of it. She snuck in the...
This is the same night.
Well, it was within about 15
Minutes.
minutes. She comes back in here. I didn't know how she got back in here. We try to keep that door closed.
Because the birds are in this room, too.
You know, we come back and forth, and if I don't leave that door shut... Anyway, she got back in here. She caught another one. And then she brought it back in. The same thing again. I'm practically waving my arms around. Gotta get it. You gotta get it. Bob.
Yeah, and here I am chasing her, and I actually clap a towel over her mouth. And I said, okay, I got it. I thought I had the mouse.
And you didn't.
I didn't, and she still had it.
And she put it down, and it ran in the study where they sleep, and it never did reappear. It just never did. I saw evidence of it over the next few days. It had been in there, but it just disappeared. But the register, unfortunately, that room has a slit wide enough for it to climb down. I think it went down there and died, because a few days later, we had this horrific smell in every register in the house every time the furnace came on. So
you really want
this is really what you want, to live in a house like that.
With a dead mouse
smell coming up. So our kindly heating and cooling guy came over to our house with this wonderful, we don't know the name of it. It's a biological, maybe Bob's got the name of it.
It's called SCOE 10X. And the way you can remember it, it means super concentrated odor eliminator 10 power. And no, we're not selling it.
No, we're not. It's just you mix it up, a 10 to 1 or something, and then you spray it wherever. It's a bacterial. It's not toxic or anything like that.
No, Greg said you can drink it.
It's totally, I got to read up on it in the literature on the internet, but you spray it, and then the bacteria eat. It is bacteria, isn't it?
I think so, or something. I don't know, or if it's enzymes or what it is.
It's enzymes. It's enzymes that eat bacteria. And then, because it eats the bacteria, that takes the smell away, and that's the end of your problem. And he went around and sprayed it in the registers.
Because he had taken the registers apart looking for a dead mouse.
He was looking for the dead mouse.
So he thought,
dead mouse.
Maybe we have mouse urine in the...
Something in
there.
And
that's what you really want, too, isn't it?
But whatever it was, he said even if it was, it would go and flow through the system, it would hit whatever, and it's going to keep feeding the bacteria.
I had no faith.
It's a wonderful thing.
I had no faith in it whatsoever, because it's also supposed to work with...
It has no smell. It doesn't really have much of a smell.
But it's supposed to work with cat urine, too, and I can't tell you how many... When we had our cat Lucy, who was a walking hydrant...
There's nothing
that we tried all kinds of things to get rid of that smell on carpet, and it didn't do any good at all. But anyway, so we sprayed this... Just
spray it in there.
And it seems silly. It's like, this isn't going to do anything. You just take the registers off.
Because it really doesn't have a smell.
Spray it in there, and...
In a few hours, the smell's gone.
Well, certainly by overnight. I could still smell, maybe it was a wet kind of metal smell that I was smelling.
Right. But it does. I mean, because this was something that was here for weeks. Trust me, it was here for weeks. And within, certainly 24 hours... Yeah. There's no smell coming through the register.
Yeah,
it's unbelievable.
I just went on the company's website, and they have all these testimonials, and they have a video. I didn't watch it, but Greg, our furnace man, told us about it, that there's a dead skunk on the side of the road, and they soak it in this stuff, and then they blindfold a couple of people and have them stand by the skunk, and they don't even know it's there because they can't smell it.
No, that's a testimonial.
Yeah.
I want to spray some on my walking shoes that get so gross. You never know. Oh, why not? I mean, I'm just thinking of it. If it's not poisonous. Anyway.
Remember those pickled radishes you made several years ago? You could probably make those again if we sprayed some of that on it.
Find that refrigerator and spray the insulation.
Yeah, that was...
I can think of a lot of applications for that stuff.
Yep. We're going to talk
we're very delighted about that.
We're going to talk a little bit more about the mice, then go into a couple other topics, because we're already at about 13 and a half minutes past, in the show already. I don't know why we don't do more shows. These go so easy. But
I know.
I'm just lazy.
I want to say what a beautiful day it is outside. The first really, really warm day. It's over 60, second or third, but it's just a gorgeous day out. I just walked out the back door, and I have a cluster of crocuses in full bloom. It's absolutely drop-dead gorgeous.
Yep.
Very pretty.
So you're listening to What Were You Thinking? And please visit my website, bobtart.com. And you find information on my new book, Kitty Cornered, and a sample chapter. And you can email me at bob@petliferadio.com. So we're going to break for a word from our sponsor, and then we'll be right back.
What Were You Thinking? We'll be right back after Bob gets the ducks out of his living room. Don't go away.
Petco, where the pets go.
Petco, where the pets go.
Pet Life Radio has tail-wagging, fur-flying, fabulous deals for our listeners from Petco. Get $6 off your order of $60 or more and up to 40% off the entire Petco site. That's right. But that's not all. Because you're a Pet Life Radio listener, you'll also get free shipping on your order of $49 or more. $6 off, up to 40% off, and free shipping from Pet Life Radio and Petco. To get these awesome deals, go to PetcoDeals.com. That's PetcoDeals.com.
Petco, where the pets go.
Dyson. The new Dyson Animal Vacs are powerful bagless upright vacuums for homes with pets. Air muscle and radio root cyclone technology generates the strongest suction power to powerfully remove dust, dirt, and pet hair from the home or car. To order your Dyson Animal Vac, go to PetLifeRadio.com/Dyson. PetLifeRadio.com/Dyson to order your Dyson Animal Vac today.
Dyson, music to your ears.
I don't make any decisions about who to hire without going to Angie's List first.
You'll find reviews on home repair to healthcare, written by people just like you.
With Angie's List, I know who to call, and I know the results will be fantastic.
Angie's List, who you can trust.
Go to angieslist.com/thinking and get 25% off any subscription. That's angieslist.com/thinking. THINKING.
Every pet is unique. Maybe they're gray in the muzzle, yet young at heart. Maybe they're growing out of the puppy stage and into their paws and ears. Or maybe they're just trying to maintain a more girlish figure. At PetSmart, we have the right food for your pet at a great value for you. PetSmart. Be better together.
Go to PetLifeRadio.com/PetSmart and save up to 30% on toys, collars, leashes, PetSmart gift cards, treats, and more. Go to PetLifeRadio.com/PetSmart today.
Hi, this is Ken Jones from the new Prince of Ponds podcast. You are listening to Pet Life Radio. I invite you to come get your feet wet at Prince of Ponds. My show is all about ponds, fountains, waterfalls, and all the critters that live in a water garden. Join me here on Pet Life Radio where I answer your questions. Go ahead, splash me.
Let's talk pets.
Let's talk pets
On Pet Life Radio.
Pet Life Radio.
PetLifeRadio.com. Okay, ducks are in the pond, rabbits in his hutch, and monkeys... Oh, in my car! Oh, okay, well, I go check my insurance policy. We'll turn you back over to Bob.
Hi, you're back with Bob Tart and Linda Tart.
Hi.
And we're talking about, got a couple other things to say about our mice, and that is that actually the mice got so bad, as we were telling you how many there were, that we asked one of our handymen to come over and to pull the stove out from the wall and to seal up that opening, because my back isn't that good and I can't really get the stove out of there. I sealed up one opening under the sink and that helped, but then they learned they could just come up through the stove.
Another place.
But our handyman said what he wanted to do first was to try this never fail
Old Farmer's Remedy.
Old Farmer's Remedy, and it was a kind of, we'll have to
white
say
bucket.
it's a lethal mousetrap as compared to the ones that we use.
Yeah.
And would you describe it?
It's a big white bucket
With water in it.
with a little water in the bottom, and you take, he described it as an old evaporated milk can, and you thread wire through it and tightly wind it to both sides of the top
rim, yep.
of the rim, and it's loose, it'll spin around. And then you take a yardstick or some kind of thing shaped like that and lay it up to the edge, and you slather peanut butter all over the can, and it has to be loose so it'll swing around. And they supposedly walk up there, and then when they try to get on the can, it flips them in the water. And he said it's absolutely full safe. He'd been using it for years. He knew lots of people.
He said we will not believe how many mice we
in
catch
one night.
So anyway, we set this up in the basement, and
has it been about a month now?
It's been a month, and how would you like to give the sum total of mice that were killed in that trap?
One.
One.
And I had told him at the time he put it down there, I said, I think our mice have a really high IQ, and besides, I don't think they stay in the basement in the wintertime. They come up here.
But what's amazing is the day after he put that trap in downstairs, the mouse population suddenly dropped.
Retreated.
Precipitously. I mean, it really did. There was no comparison. For several days, I found no mice up here in the morning when I get up early and take the covers off the cages. None at all. And I would say we are probably at, about a quarter of what we had before?
You just don't see them. I think they're around, but you don't see them. They're either very insulted by that thing, or they heard rumors themselves of that thing, and they figured, we're in big trouble.
Yeah, or else they just laugh so hard that
they laugh themselves silly.
Yeah, and so that's it.
Laugh themselves to death, maybe.
Yeah. And you want to talk a little bit about a new vet that we found, because this is a pretty unique kind of guy we found.
Well, I always read with great joy about James Herriot being a veterinarian in England back in whenever his 30s, 40s, 50s, whatever, that would come to people's homes, and I thought, wouldn't that just be glorious if we had a vet that would come to the house all the time. Because, you try to drag a goose or a duck, put them in a carrier, very difficult. And the kind of animals that we have, some of them, it's so difficult. So anyway, where did we hear about him? We had been to Dr.
His name, we can say his name, Dr. Chuddy, and I knew him
because...
He
had been up in Cedar Springs.
And that's good. Cedar Springs, it takes me a good, 45 minutes to drive up there.
Right.
It's not real close, but it's a bird vet, and so we bring our birds up there.
But I go to the chiropractor 3 times a week, and the ladies that take me, we always notice things along the way. And I saw a sign out in front of this place that used to be a landscaping nursery that said blah, 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 vet's name. And then it said
Dr. Chuddy.
Dr. Chuddy. And I said, oh my gosh, new vet.
And how close is this?
It's like a mile and a half away.
Yeah.
It's a wonderful thing. It must be I called them then, because I don't think it said that on the sign. And, they come to your house. They make house calls. So I was in seventh heaven. And, of course, something happened with the animals shortly. Oh, yeah, that was the thing with...
yeah, you can just talk about that a little bit.
So, anyway, we've had trouble with minks in the last few months.
It's one reason we haven't done a podcast.
Yeah, we've been traumatized
so upsetting.
By the mink We've had the minks kill a bunch of our animals outside.
We kept moving them around
in pens, and they get in
their...
pens. No matter what we did, they could get in the pens. And we found out from this trapper that there's a mink population explosion, and that they feed on muskrats, and that the muskrat population is down. They got to find something else to eat. So anyway, they've been attacking our outdoor animals, and they can get in just about any pen. Believe me, there's just nothing you can do practically.
And one problem was we were told that they don't attack during the day; that they just attack at night.
Not true.
No, not true.
And we were told they don't go after anything like geese. Not true.
Yeah.
They'll kill just about anything.
Yeah, because it turned out that the ringleader of the minks, the trapper that was advising us, he told us that it is 31 inches from nose to tail.
And we started seeing we saw footprints around the yard. Every time it snowed, we could see these footprints all over the place. Unbelievable. So we actually commissioned him to try to get this mink. He can't get it. We had to have a safe pen built out in our barn.
It's a room.
It's a room in the barn that is just so solid and safe that's where we have to keep them all the time, except when we go out there.
It was just supposed to be sleeping quarters.
Right. But when they killed one in the broad daylight, then they have to stay in there all the time, except when we let them out 3 times a day for 30 to 45 minutes or more.
Right.
We sit out there with them like shepherds. That's it. That's what we have to do until we have something done with that pen to make it more safe. And
this spring
that's all we can do.
This spring we're going to have the outdoor pen reinforced. Because we have big outdoor pens, but they are never designed to be mink-proof, because how many years have we had outdoor ducks?
Forever.
It's been more than 15 years, and we never had
problems like
this. Never. We built our pens so that raccoons and dogs
we have
couldn't
hardware
get in.
Cloth on there, and it's just really...
Not all the way up.
Not all the way up, but high enough that over 15 years we never had a problem.
Minks can get through a little crack.
But once they start coming to a place, then they just keep coming. But they were in the barn. I mean, they would go in the barn.
Yes.
And we're staying in there. Yeah. So what can you do?
And we could see from when we had snow, we could see from footprints that the mink was still coming around.
Oh, yeah. They go right in the barn. And they chewed a hole. There's probably a partial little hole that he expanded. He got into our original safe pen by chewing a hole through like a knot through the floor and getting in there. in the floor below and getting into what was our safe room. That's how bad it was.
Yeah, but the safe room we have now, literally not even a mouse can get in there. That's how tight it is.
You know, thank you, Lord.
And they like it
in there.
They like it.
They like it. They go back in that room before we even shush them back in.
Anyway, we called Chuddy over because of
he had to
some
dress
injured...
the wounds. That was the first time he came. And he's the only person that has seen that mink. He said maybe it's still in, what was at that time, the safe room. He walked in there, pulled the board back from the wall, and there it was. And he said it's a huge, just an enormous big mink. And he tried to chase it and asked me if we had a gun. We didn't have one, and blah, blah, blah. But it escaped through this hole, through the ceiling, up into the upper part of the barn. So he's the only one that's actually seen it. He said it's enormous.
But it's great because...
That was our first introduction to him.
Yeah, and he was so nice. I was at work, and he actually, buried the ducks for Linda.
He buried the ducks that day. He helped us transport them to this other pen, and then they had to be transported back another time because they were getting in that pen. So it's been a long, torturous ordeal around here lately, but things are safe now because we just are so careful.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, and it's been nice going out there and staying with it. We go out there and we bird watch, and it's enjoyable just not doing anything except watching the animals. They're funny. They splash their wings, and they have this funny way that they clean themselves while they're in the pools. They kind of hunker down with their chest and do this wing flapping thing. And it's funny.
Linda's flapping her arms right now.
It's so funny to watch. Bob should do a video of it. It's just hilarious. And they splash. The water goes like 40 feet. I mean, you can't be anywhere near them because they get everything wet. And that's how they take a bath. They're fun to watch.
My favorite thing is I usually let them back in after about a half hour, and they get treats when they come back. And darn it, if those ducks, I close the door so that they can't come back into the barn because, we want to make sure they're safe. And so we confine them all to the pen where we can watch them outside. Darned if the ducks don't know when about a half hour is up.
They do.
Because they start quacking to come in.
Yep.
And so what I'll do is at that point, sometimes I'll be in the barn and I'll be making treats for them and tell them what kind of treats they get.
Diced up bread, lettuce, spinach, and I started cooking macaroni for them. I know you'll think that's stupid, but back during the time when they were so traumatized by this thing with the mink, and they were being given antibiotics, the injured ones, and most of them were injured. So I had to do something to get them to eat. They weren't eating.
No.
They just weren't eating because their stomachs hurt from the antibiotics. So I started cooking up macaroni because I had heard that they like pasta. Well, they love it, and ever since then they think they've got to have pasta. So I'm cooking big pots of macaroni all the time, constantly.
Kitty kibble sprinkled on top, too.
A little bit of that for additional protein for wintertime.
So anyway, here come the ducks. When I have the door open, the whole flock of them will suddenly start quacking, run into the barn, run into their room.
Want to see if the treat's there.
See if the treat's there. They quack, 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 quack. Then they all turn around, run out again, run into the barn, quack at me, run back outside, and then 2 minutes later, the same thing again. All of a sudden, all this quacking, they run into the room, look for their food, look for their treat, come out and quack at me. And then go back outside.
And there's always like one or two of them that think they're going to be the first one to go in there. I'll see them just kind of tentatively come in there and just try to wiggle past me and go in there.
Yeah.
They want to be the first one to get the hog all the treats.
Yeah, I got to get a video of them streaming in the barn, though, because it's very
hilarious.
funny. But anyway, so this vet has been, again, we're not representing Dr. Chuddy either, but he's been great. He's come over for our cat Maynard.
Several things, yeah.
Yep, and...
a bird, Georgie. Mm-hmm. Georgie, our parakeet, had pneumonia a while back.
And it was cold at that time, and I didn't want to bring him to the vet. I didn't want to put him outside because...
he had been to the vet already once
that
week.
But it got cold.
Traumatic for them. So.
And he was not doing well at that time, where we didn't think he was. And so
Chuddy
came right over.
Yep. Yeah, it's just so easy for them to come over.
And Maynard had a... what would you say, a litter box problem?
Some kind of digestive problem.
So Chuddy came out once, and then a couple days later, his technician
sent the assistant out to give him a shot.
She said, I won't even charge you for the house call. I'll just come over and give him a shot.
Yeah, isn't that nice?
Yeah, so it's great.
We have to thank you, Lord. I can't believe we've actually got a vet that'll come over to the house.
So it's wonderful that a vet will make, and really it doesn't...
He thinks nothing of it, and he's so cheerful and a wonderful person.
Yep, yeah, we got a lot of great vets, I want to say that.
Yeah, we appreciate all our vets. They're all good.
Yep. Well, we only got 4 more minutes, so why don't you just talk a little bit about the little visitor we've had in our yard.
Oh, the one year, was it 2 years
Last
ago? Year. Well, 2 years ago we had a house run from Mother's Day to a day after Father's Day. Then this winter after that, we had the Carolina Wren most of the winter. And then now our little gift from God is this white-throated sparrow.
Our winter bird.
This is a winter bird that we've had most of the winter, right?
Mm-hmm. We've never had one before.
Never had one before that stayed. Did we?
No.
I don't think. We see him. The spirea bush is right outside our back door. He sleeps in there at night sometimes. And then there's a big. I guess we didn't mention that we had trees cut out front, and the brush from it was dragged out back. He goes in that brush pile out back, and that brush pile's right by where the pen is for the ducks too, so we can sit with the binoculars looking there. He stays in there. He goes in the spirea bush. You can see him around the yard, and he has a beautiful little song that's on our clock, by the way.
Kind of like that?
Yeah. And he is just a doll. I mean, we just adore him.
Beautiful. He's got
this bright white patch under his chin. Beautiful contrasting stripes on his forehead.
White and dark, and then yellow up by his bill.
There's like a yellow streaks amongst the area above his, but he's beautiful.
Yeah,
just darling.
Right. Yeah. So it's really fun watching him.
That's our entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I got a picture of him on my Facebook page. So if you,
you do?
Yeah. So if you go to Facebook, and I urge everyone to friend me on Facebook who is listening to the show, and also I'm on Twitter now. And so you can follow me on Twitter. It's @BobTart. That's my Twitter, @BobTart.
Yeah, I was surprised that he got a picture of that. He walked right up to the brush pile. I couldn't believe that he just sat there. It's like he knew he was going to get his picture on the internet.
He's still a long ways off, so it's not the best picture. But you can see it
looks
pretty good.
Yeah, I thought it was clear.
Yep. So that's about it, because we're at the end of our time.
Alrighty.
So thanks so much for listening.
Send us your animal stories.
Yes, because we still occasionally have people, not very often, because I have equipment phobia, but with my phone interface, but we still have people on. But
we'd be glad to hear from you.
Yep, and do visit my website, bobtart.com. And you can email me, bob@petliferadio.com.
Very fun and easy to use.
Yes.
And very attractive.
Thank you. And so thanks to all my listeners, and thanks for your patience since it's been so long between shows. And thanks to my producer, Mark Winter. So bye-bye, everybody.
Thanks for coming. Bye.
Bye.
Thinking about buying a monkey? How about a ferret or a skunk? Then check out the show that will answer the burning questions. Where do you get them? What do you feed them? How do you take care of them? And most of all, what were you thinking? With exotic pet expert and author Bob Tart. Every week on demand from PetLifeRadio.com.